Had he not retired, you might have forced a stoppage?
Yeah, 100%. The stoppage was coming no matter what. You could see Hammer was getting sick and he was getting hit constantly. Why don't you ask Hammer how good I am? Because
it'd be a good interview to do, yeah.
Listen, 100%. Respect to Hammer, he took the fight. And like I say, I'm a fighting man, and I'm only coming on 27 years age, just turned.
But what I want to see more from Hughie is like combinations, then put the shots in. So what I'm asking for is to place the shots, find them, and then put them in. That's what he started to do before it got stopped.
Marks out of 10 for Hughie tonight?
7.5.
What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So, as I said in my last video where I reacted to Chris Eubank versus Wankin Ajwani, I said that I don't really normally react to random non-big fights, but I thought, you know what, today let me see what the public reception is. If these videos do well, I might start doing it in the future. If they don't, they flop, I ain't covering no more bum fights. So here's my reaction to Hughie Fury versus Christian Hamer. Now listen, we've heard a lot every time Peter, I don't mind Peter Fury. Peter Fury is alright to me, but this is the YB's channel. We don't tell no lies. I can like you all you want, but if you step out of line, you get checked. Yeah, you can be whoever you want to be. I'm going to check you. Now, with that in mind, Peter Fury, he has "but it's my son" syndrome. Yeah, but it's my son syndrome is like one of them ones where your son is a raging nonce case. Yeah, where your son is a raging nonce case, but you still defend it. Oh, but it's my son. However, when it's everyone else's kids, you got a problem, if that makes sense. Now, I know it's a bit of a mad analogy, but it's the point is, Peter Fury has all the advice and all the skills, allegedly. People love to trope Peter Fury up. Oh, he's so skillful. And don't get me wrong, he has some good advice, but my problem is, his advice, he doesn't apply it. He doesn't apply that same level of realism to his own son. Yeah? His son goes in there. His shots got no sting on them whatsoever. I've never seen someone with no, not even a little bit of sting. No sting on them. And after the fight, he was saying, oh, it was a 7 out of 10 performance. And yeah, he was just touching him. And wow, touching him? He was fannying around. I mean, I thought, no word of a lie, I thought I'd seen it all when I watched AJ in there with Usyk. But man, Hughie Fury made AJ look like Mike Tyson 1986. Yeah? Hughie's got no dig on him, has he? Got no dig. And I understand that he's fought quite a lot of the not world class, yeah, because I don't care what no one says. Pulev for me isn't world class. Povetkin for me isn't world class. They're world class in 2021, but back in the 80s and 90s, yeah, Povetkin would have been. Mitch Green would have had a go on Povetkin. Yeah, Mitch Green would have had a go on Pulev, 100%. These men who are something today, Pulev and Povetkin, wouldn't have laced boots in the 80s and 90s. Facts. I don't care what no one says. They would have been boot lacers. Yeah, they'd have been bag carriers. Any man would have a go on them too. I'm just nothing against them. I'm just saying. And the reason I bring that up is to say that Hughie's been in there with them, man, and got washed by them. Now the whole excuse was, oh, he's only 24. Well, Mike Tyson was only 19. Oops. Now I'm not saying everyone's going to be the phenom that Mike Tyson is, but this whole thing's played out. Oh, he's only 30. I mean, he was saying that he's only 30 thing or whatever it is, only 27. That was cool 8 years ago. Oh, he's only 19. But it's a bit like for me with AJ. Oh, he's only 15 years into his career. What? Only 15 years into his career. How many more years do you want? And every fight we hear, Peter Fury wheels out, oh, you're going to see a complete new level. And it's funny, I felt a bit guilty for Coogan, but Coogan ended up having to punk Hughie Fury. Because Coogan said to him in the post-fight interview, it was quite awkward. To an extent, I do rate Coogan because he didn't actually, yeah, he shilled a little bit, but he didn't fully shill. Because after the fight, Coogan said to Hughie, before the fight, you said you're going to bring a whole new, different set of skills and it's going to be a brand new Hughie. Do you think you displayed that brand new Hughie? And Hughie almost cockily said, "What do you think?" As if to say, "Obviously, I can't wait to hear your rave reviews." And Cougie Bear came back and said, I think you showed certain small elements. You show one of them ones." So I give Cougie Bear credit because he could have. I was expecting him to come full shill. "Oh yeah, you were shades of Ali, Mick Hennessy style," but he didn't. He held his ground to an extent. And you have to bear in mind, when you're in front of people, I can say it. It's easy for me to sit here and say, "Oh, I'd say this, I'd say that." But when you're actually in front of people, and when you have a relationship with people, it is hard to be honest. But I do think Cougie Bear, for the rare occasion, actually did have a pretty honest opinion. It's true. And the thing is, not everyone can be Mike Tyson. We understand that, but it's this whole narrative of, we've got a new thing coming soon. He's going to be completely different. And every time he goes out there, bear in mind, people, he's not in there with super duper decent people. He's in there with old men. I mean, Tyson Fury, his cousin, whooped on. I remember Christine Hammer. I remember Tyson Fury whooping on Christine Hammer 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was. Like donkeys years ago. He was no good, Christine Hammer. And still, obviously, he's knocking around. And Hughie's had a go on him. Now everyone's, the worst thing was, to be honest, the worst thing, because I think Tyson Fury went the distance with Christian Hammer, or maybe he went 10 rounds. So now the whole narrative is, Tyson Fury went 8 rounds, and Hughie Fury stopped him. Come on, man, that was on stoppage. I don't know how Christian Hammer stopped, and what worries me is, I heard Peter Fury and Hughie Fury getting really excited. Peter Fury was like, "Yeah, that was a 7 out of 10 performance," and did you see him just touching him in there? He was touching him, and I told him to touch him to death, and I just didn't see that. I didn't see a touch to death performance. I saw a lot of slapping, a lot of fannying, a lot of no snap having arsing, no dinging, but I didn't see no touching. Yeah, I didn't see no pop, 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 bang. There was no bang. There was barely any pop, to be fair. Now, like I said, I'm not expecting everyone to be in there, elbows in, chin down, slip, slip, roll, bang, and Mike Tyson style, but don't oversell it, is my point. Not everyone knows your son ain't no good as such. We all know that. So, and again, everyone's not good at everything. Not everyone can be whoever. So we all understand your son ain't no good, but the problem is when you keep trying to repackage it every time, and even Coogan's picked up on it now. Even Coogan, one of your best friends, he can't even lie to you anymore. Every time, he coming out with, it's going to be brand new, he's bringing a new Hughie, and every time we don't deliver, we hear, but he only young, and, a whole gang of excuses. Well, he's been in there with everyone who's anyone. He's lost to anyone who's anyone. You don't get medals for that. Yeah, it's a bit like AJ fans at the moment, saying, but YB, he's been in there with everyone. He's lost with everyone. Oops. It's no good going in there. But YB, he'll fight anyone. Yeah, he'll lose to anyone as well. Oops. You know what I'm saying? That's no good. You're supposed to go in there with anyone and put your nuts on the line and win or try to win against everyone. You don't get medals for this guy. To be fair to Hughie, Hughie's not an AJ. Hughie doesn't have the ability as such. He doesn't have the God-given snap. So he did, to be fair to Hughie, he did try his best against Pulev and Nemman and Povetkin. He just don't have it. He is just going to be a solid, at best, European level fighter. I mean, I know these boxodons are down bad at the moment. I know Adam Smith's down bad, and I mean, listen, if your promotion is relying on Hughie Fury, wow. I mean, Frank Warren has never been down this bad. These boxodons, they down bad. Yeah, because it's about when Frank Warren looking like Don King in the 90s. Yeah? Hughie Fury, and there's nothing against Hughie. I think Hughie's a very polite, and I think he's a lovely man. I think he'd be a great friend or whatever, but from a boxing point of view, we can't lie to the people. Yeah? Hughie Fury, and I'm not being funny, look at what Tyson Fury has done. In as much as this Peter Fury style, I'm not sold on it, people. I'm really not, I'm afraid to say. I'm not sold on it. Look how boring and useless, I hate to say it, it's tracks. Look how boring and useless Tyson Fury was with Peter Fury. Yes, he could nick a fight and bore everyone to tears. But going to the Kronk and leaving Ben Davidson and Peter Fury behind, look at how he's gone from strength to strength. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, his legacy was going to be a whopper. Yeah, he may have been undefeated, doing that goofy Klitschko style, but who wants that kind of legacy? Not, well, maybe. This is heavy. People don't realise this isn't £120 boxing. This is heavyweight boxing. There's a level of expectation there. All this playing around business. What's wrong with putting your feet down? And I know that they got. Oh, I know that. Well, people keep. Oh, you got the stoppage, YB. Well, I'm sorry. I don't have the same reception. It doesn't feel to me like that was really a stoppage. I'm not sure what happened. Allegedly, he retired in the corner. I think he got bored, truth be known. He wasn't hurt. I don't care what no one says. You can watch it yourself. Not one point was Christian Hammer hurt in there. I'm not sure what happened. To be honest, I think probably got paid off. I think Boxer, you know, they're struggling. They're trying to build a star. They thought, oops, we better get a stoppage. We better not let Hughie Fury go 50-50 with this guy, with another random bum again. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's pull the matchroom Eddie Hearn and get the checkbook out. No, I'm joking. Eddie Hearn don't do that. But yeah. Let's play the what's it called? What's that? Campbell Hatton. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing Boxer said, you know what? Let's pull the Eddie Hearn Campbell Hatton. Yeah, let's make sure that we don't end up going to points, and let's not make sure we don't end up going 50-50 on the scorecards. Let's pull a Eddie Hearn matchroom Campbell Hatton, and let's fix this one and get Christian Hammer. I'm hearing Christian Hammer was paid about 50 grand to take a seat, kind of thing. One of them ones, because there was nothing definitive thrown in there. And the fact that we all watched it, people. Think of all the heavy shots you've seen fighters take before and carry on. Did you see any of them heavy shots land against Christian Hammer? All I saw was in the way that Peter Fury and Hughie Fury was ranting and raving about it. And this has nothing to do with YB. People say things like, YB hates the Fury. What are you talking about? I've given Tyson Fury loads of credit when he's earned it recently. But this whole style, I just don't. It's not even about the style, to be honest, because I can appreciate good boxing. I can appreciate Floyd Mayweather. This wasn't that, though. He's not really slick here. Mayweather knew how to dig shots. He knew how to, for sure. He knows how to get off when he needs to. Hughie just seems to be super. I'm not sure what it is. There is nothing definitive about his work, is there? I'm not sure. It's almost like he's pulling his shots. I mean, early in the fight, he was throwing his jab, and it looked like it was we're sparring, and I don't want to cut anyone. He was literally just jabbing in the air. It was quite amazing to watch. Hughie Fury was literally double jab in the air. His jab was ending 2 feet away from Hammer's head. What? What was that? Now, that kind of jab, the one where it's nowhere near, it's almost taking the whole touch, because people talk about touch, bang. He's taking that to a whole new level. Touch, bang. You do know, Hughie and Peter, you do know that you have got to land on the target. The touch doesn't mean in the air. And that's probably why Hughie Fury don't get his right hand off. Because the whole touch doesn't go anywhere. He's touching the air. No wonder he can't find the right hander on the end of it, because you ain't nowhere near the target. You fighting with the air, Hughie. It's mad. And the way everyone... yeah. I don't know, man. I just think that... I don't know what to say. People, I mean, Adam Smith gassed. Adam Smith started saying, yeah, within a year he's going to be challenging for world titles. Come on, man. Don't do that. Please don't do that to Hughie. Hughie ain't challenging for British title. Hughie would be lucky to win British title right now. Who is there? I mean, who's not going to... I mean, I tell a lie. I tell you what Hughie Fury should be focusing on right now. Daniel Dubois. That would be a fight. Hughie Fury versus Daniel Dubois. Both men could do with that fight. Daniel Dubois could do with trying to have a go on a slick boxer. And let's see if Hughie Fury has learnt anything. Because if he has, he'll beat Daniel Dubois. That's the fight that needs to happen right now, I believe. Dubois and Hughie. Yeah? The winner of that fight might have a future. The loser will be no good. That's an interesting fight. But forget this whole world title thing for now. Hughie Fury needs to prove himself. Because all we see him doing is fighting old people. Then again, he did fight Joseph Parker, but again, he got bottomed. Yeah? He got bottomed. Joseph Parker bottomed Hughie Fury. Yeah? He subbed him, turned him into a sub. He was a sub-bottom in that fight. And that's been the career. Hughie Fury's career has been based around being a bottom. Yeah? He don't top no one. That's what he don't do. Even when he's in there with Hammer. Even when he's in there with Hammer, it's looking like hard work. Call me a liar. What is or is not that fight against Hammer looking like hard work? I was, okay, no. I've never seen someone have so much hard work. Because even when Fury was fanning around and running around the place, it still looked easy, didn't it? And I think that's probably the 6'9". That is what 6'9" does for you. When you're a foot taller than people, you'd be surprised how easy it really is. But Hughie, he just doesn't seem to have that level of ease and control. He's putting a lot of effort in, but it ain't doing nothing, is it? It just doesn't seem to have the impact. Now, bottom line for me is, why be? You're moaning, you're whining, you're ranting on, what's your point? I just feel that we need to limit expectations. Every time Hughie Fury fights, we don't have to hear how new he's going to be. Understand he is limited European level at best. Focus on that European circuit. Daniel Dubois. I mean, even Joe Joyce. That wouldn't be a bad fight, would it? Let's see what happens there. Obviously, Joe Joyce is the favourite. Obviously, Dubois is the favourite in my opinion. But let's see them ones. Because Hughie, he ain't never going to be that World Championship guy. Like, for example, who here wants to see Hughie Fury versus Usyk? Who here wants to see Hughie Fury versus Tyson? Who here wants to see Hughie Fury versus AJ? These fights just don't do it for me. But those people who are below that level, who aren't really good for much, in as much as commercially, Joe Joyce, Dubois, that's where Hughie should be calling out right now, if he really wants it. And then if him and his dad know something I don't, and they beat a Dubois, a Joyce, then listen, if you beat a Dubois or a Joyce, I'll make a video saying, yeah man, he deserves a world title shot. But just to think that you're going to get a world title shot for what? Just hanging around beating Hammer? Come on, man. And YB, my problem is, Hughie Fury reminds me a bit like Chris Eubank. What are they doing? What are they both doing? What have they been doing? Chris Eubank lost to Groves. Hughie Fury lost to, you know what I'm saying, Joseph Parker. And yeah, Hughie Fury's fought a few more, but really, they was old anyway. Pulev was old, and whatever. So I guess it's just kind of tiring now, truth be known. It's a bit tiring for me. I'm kind of over this whole thing with Hughie.